Hi, my name is Chris Perry, assistant coach at Oklahoma State, two-time national champion. Today in this video, we went over mostly breakdowns to start it, working to our chain wrestling, to our bars, and then working for some tilts also with it. One thing I think a big deal was just understanding the philosophies and the details was a big part of my success in college, and understand how to get a breakdown, how to do these fundamentals is everything. First technique we're going to go over is a spiral ride. Just learning to put weight on the hands and making sure our head position's in the right place. First thing you want to do when you get on top is just make sure that you shift the weight. Now you don't want to cheat too much. You don't want to get the ref to notice it. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to jump on him or slide too much. I'm just going to take his hands. I'm going to take away the stand up right away by just moving his hands to here. From here, this takes away the stand up. So if he comes up, he tries to come up, all the weight's forward, so I make him have to mat wrestle here. I would probably say 90% of kids, or even high school kids, only know a stand-up. I mean, that's what their baseline get-up is, and if you can take that away, most of the time, you're gonna ride most guys. So again, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come on, but I'm just gonna barely move him. I don't wanna overdo it and get a caution. So the first thing I do is I move the weight to here, and I'm gonna come up a little high with my head. I think a lot of kids, they're a little bit scared about their head being too high and getting pulled over the top. So the first thing I'm gonna do is when the whistle blows, I'm gonna throw my head up on the far side of the elbow that I started on. So again, I come here, I throw my head to here, okay, and I get on that forearm right here and I line it up. Okay, I think a lot of people that ride on top and even do spiral, this kind of spooks them a little bit. They feel like they're falling off. But that's the biggest key, is making sure I'm on all fours here and I'm not sitting back. Okay, and that allows him to bring his knees under him again and get to a stand-up. So again, I come on, I shift the weight to his hands, okay? And right away when the whistle blows, I want to take my head and line it up straight with his arm. I get to here, I'm on all fours, okay? And this arm stays short. I think this is probably the biggest deal, and this is where the weight comes off, is when I drop my elbow back, I end up squatting. Okay, and then he ends up sitting through, okay? And he's back to his butt, and he's up. So again, shift the weight, okay? On the whistle, I drop to here, and everything stays high. Okay, and I stay on all fours here. From here, all I really want to do is make sure this arm is short. This is everything right here, okay? The first time you feel this arm drop, and you'll see a lot of kids do it, is when he moves, they're going to pull back. Okay, I don't want to do that. I want to keep everything. I want to put his head down here, and I want to stay heavy. The more he pushes back, the more I run forward. Okay, I keep the weight on his hands. So again, on the whistle, shift the weight, take away the stand-up. My head comes to here, this arm stays short. All I'm gonna do from here is just run my feet forward and make sure that my head stays here and it doesn't pull back. So again, I walk forward, go ahead, keep the balance. He's here, and I keep that weight forward the whole time. Okay, so just making sure. I think the biggest deal is understanding how committed you gotta be when you're spiral riding. I think a lot of guys don't like to run that guy forward, and they feel any pressure back, they pull back, okay? This first 30 seconds is everything. If I run a hard spiral and I move my feet forward for 30 seconds, okay, it's gonna take a lot out of this guy. It's basically doing a bear crawl. Okay, so again, this is huge to start him here. Okay, this takes away the stand up. Right away, I'm gonna drop my head to here. This arm stays short, okay? And I'm just gonna run my knees up. I'm gonna keep that weight here, okay? So I think it's key. The big deal is having a breakdown, having a ride, kind of a grind ride a little bit. Spiral ride, you just gotta put time into it. I think the biggest deal is head position is big too. The more he holds his base, the stronger guy, I'm gonna drop and crunch his head, okay? If his head's down, he's not moving, okay? And it makes sure that everything's heavy here. But I think the biggest deal out of all the things in spiral ride is this arm. I can already feel mine getting deep, and if he moves, I'm going back. Okay, so the shorter it is, the better it is. I think this is probably the hardest thing to get comfortable with. This doesn't feel right. Okay, just have my arm here. It doesn't feel like it's doing anything. but it keeps me high. It keeps me on my toes. The first time this arm drops, my butt drops. Okay, so I think the biggest deal with the spiral ride is that first 30 seconds is forward and heavy and on my toes. And if you can get that built into your athlete, you're making sure everything's forward, and the first 30 seconds is gonna be hard, then the spiral ride's gonna work for you. Next breakdown I'm gonna show is a chop. I think it's probably the most basic one, probably the first one you learn, but I think the biggest deal with a chop, and you know, it's one thing that I've kind of learned to struggle with, but I've learned to teach, is that if you learn to do it right, you learn to keep the weight heavy, and you're not actually really trying to chop the arm, okay, you can become great at it. So I think a big deal here is, for more experienced guys, I would kind of treat it like a trap arm gut. Like I got to pick him up and run him over a 90, okay? So the first thing, again, I always want to make sure I take away that stand-up if I can. It's just strategic. I just know probably, even in college, when you get to that level, probably 80% of guys only have a stand-up. If you put them in mat wrestling positions, they're going to struggle, okay? I mean, they're going to try and horse their way up. And if I can make sure that I take that away on the whistle, I'm probably going to put 30 in for sure, okay? So again, I'm going to come on and I'm going to move his weight, okay? It might not be as much as it is when I spiral, because my head, when I spiral, I want to get a little higher, okay? Because my head's got to get here. Here, I'm going to move the weight to where I want to chop. So first thing I need to do is I need to load my knee. Turn this way. I need to load my knee a little bit lower behind his butt cheek here, okay? Instead of bringing it high or something a little bit above him here, I'm going to kind of load it, and I'm going to use it to run him over. So again, I move the weight here, okay? I come on the belly. And a lot of guys grab here. This is the problem. This is what makes them want to chop, okay? They want to come here, they take their hand over the top, they try and chop. I want to cup it, okay? And the first thing I want to do is, this knee is everything. Okay, so turn. Again, watch his hands. I'm going to put the weight on him. And immediately you can see his arms flex. And as I do this, I'm going to cup. Okay, you can start here or you can start here. Just make sure when they start here, the first thing they think is chop, and they're literally going to chop. I bring the weight. If I bring my my hand off his elbow, he's going to shift his weight back. So the first time he feels this, go ahead and say he can move his elbow again. So again, I'm here. I keep the weight forward. And as I go to do this, I'm going to take my knee and I'm going to try to run him at a 90. I'm going to cup his arm. And I don't like to really tell kids to fall on their hip. If you're more experienced, a little bit longer, and you've always felt the chop, you can do that. First thing I want to do, I'm going to take it and cup. And my knee is running up his butt here. So I come here, I'm going to run forward, and I'm going to hit my hip and pop up. Okay, I think a little bit of it is, when they hit their hip, they never recover. Does that make sense? Okay, just understanding that when I hit this hip, it's immediate. Okay, I'm picking his weight up and I'm running him over. So again, my knee runs up, and as my hip hits, okay, I block my knee here, and pop up. Okay, if he builds back up, again, my knee's here the whole time, right in his butt. I think the more pressure and the more position you understand with your knee, and you don't float your hips back, the better you'll be at a chop. Okay, so again, I'm going to take this weight and I'm going to shift it. And I'm going to roll my hand over the top. I'm going to pull him over it, not chop him over it. Okay, I'm going to pull. My knee's doing everything. Okay, my knee is everything. I'm going to chop. I think that's probably, for most younger kids, the word chop's not good. Okay, it's literally like we think chop his arm off. Okay, and you're not going to chop anybody good down. You know, and literally just chop their elbow down. Okay, and if you do get guys that are kind of still doing this, the reason behind it is he's going to float this hand over the top. I can't run him over, and his weight's going to shift, and he's going to end up standing up. My knee has to move his body. The chop really is all with my knee. I don't even need my arm. Okay, I just move him. But I think just getting comfortable with keeping my knee in his butt and staying tight and not worrying so much about taking this arm out. Okay, I think just shifting the weight. Next, breakdowns and ankle chop. I think, going through breakdowns is important because you only need one. Okay, and I think that was one thing, to be completely honest with you, I kind of struggle with. I knew how to ride, but the hardest part was breaking them down, okay, and staying committed to it because it takes energy. Everybody is good for the first 30 seconds, okay? It's, am I willing to put that time in? Am I willing to give them that 30 back at them, okay? And that all comes with a breakdown. If you can find a go-to breakdown, most likely you're gonna be successful. So again, building off the chop, some people, I'm one of those people that I don't feel the chop. I just don't feel the power, okay? The big deal is, if I know this guy's got his ankles showing right here, okay? When I wanna just chop, he's gonna sit on his heels. So I'll be here, and I'm gonna hide my ankles, okay? That's when I wanna chop, because I know he's already off balance. So again, when I see his ankles showing here, it's the same philosophy as a spiral, but I'm gonna start a little bit back, okay? And this time, I always wanna make sure the weight goes like this. Not too much, okay? But there, okay? Right away, go ahead and stand up. See how he's gotta get his knees under him? Okay, so when I say move his hands here, kids that show it too much, you're gonna get, all I'm gonna do is move, I don't give him time, go, whistle blows, okay? So again, I see his ankles, I'm looking at it, I know he's gotta clear it. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start a little back. And the one thing about ankles is the first thing the kids wanna do, or anybody really, is take this belly hand to the ankle. Okay, well, the waist hand's everything. Waist hand's your power hand on top. And same thing on bottom, to be completely honest, even though we're not showing bottom, is if I want to get up, I always go and attack the waist hand. The problem is we worry about this hand. This is everything. Okay, so again, I can't remove the waist hand and think I'm going to ankle, arm here. Okay, so again, I'm going to drop my far knee. This far knee, it's going to drop, and I'm going to come pick it up. Take the hand off the elbow. The hand comes off the elbow. This knee drops, and I go get it. I look at it. I pick it up, and I table it. Okay? You got to be a little careful about tabling it. They'll stop you. Kids will run it out. Okay? When I go get this ankle, the first thing I need to do is I need to take off forward. Now the weight's forward. Okay? Probably less experienced guys, you might get them down with just the ankle. Okay? I'm wrestling somebody good. The first thing he does when he feels this, he's going to shoot this leg straight, and I'm going to catch it. When it goes long, I go chop. Okay? So different looks. That's a little bit more experience. Okay? If a guy's really good on bottom, knows wrestling. But I think a big deal is the exact same thing as a spiral. Everything has to go forward on the whistle. Okay, again, I bump, this knee drops, and I go get it. If it goes straight, I pick it up. I can't bail on it. Okay, if it goes straight, it gets heavy, I can't come over here. Okay, I'm gonna lose it. I stay committed to it. It goes long, I pick it up. Now I'm gonna run up, spot here. Okay. So big deal with that one is you'll get a little bit of both. Okay, I think you'll catch some guys off when you run their ankle up their butt. You won't even have to chop. It'll be like a spiral. I'm running. It's gonna fall. Okay. But if I get this leg locked, now he's in trouble for a while. Because now I got his leg to his body. Okay, now he's got to get his leg free and build his base underneath him. Okay. So I think an ankle chop, I would probably use it a little bit more short time, to be completely honest. You just got to be careful because kids won't say, they're too worried about the chop. Everything's here. Same thing, if I'm gonna ride this guy 30 seconds, I'm riding him here. I don't wanna worry about the ankle getting heavy and then try to beat him here. Okay, so I wanna pick this up. If I end up on the legs, I end up on the legs. But at least I get 30 out of it. So again, knee drops, and I go get it. If I can get it on my knee, great. If not, I'll pick it up. If it goes long, put it right here. Not running off. Okay, the next breakdown, I think probably more for high school kids, honestly. Maybe some college guys, I mean, obviously college guys too. Maybe some more experienced younger youth kids that have been around mat wrestling quite a bit. But I think claw, as a coach, if you haven't grown up doing it, I kind of pull you back off of it because you float. You become about hanging on. And I'm not a big fan of that. Everything for me is that first 30 seconds, like I said, is everything. You know, when I'm gonna beat the best guys. First 30 is gonna be the hardest part. So again, I do the same exact thing. I move his weight. So one thing about a claw, I treat it like a spiral, okay? But the only thing I don't like about the claw and the spiral, that's why the spiral is better, is this arm's short. And when I go to claw, it drops my butt back, okay? And claw is probably for more longer guys, in my opinion, has longer arms. Because if he sits, they feel comfortable here, okay? For me, shorter, probably not, okay? I can't get that bite. So again, on the whistle, I come up, put his weight forward, and right away. One thing about, there's a couple different ways you want to start on the elbow, I think. Chop. You know, you could do both. I think a lot of it depends how big your hands are, okay? I had guys in college I wrestled with, huge hands, they can start here. And it's all the way, you know, it feels like he's all the way around your arm, okay? If my hands are a little smaller, I'm probably gonna start like this, okay? I don't feel this power, and I feel like I have to go get a bite of it first, okay? So again, I'm gonna start like this with the claw though. I'm gonna turn it up, because I'm coming up to get it, okay? This is why some of them get beat on the whistle, is they start here, and now they gotta turn their hand and drop, okay? I've already got it here, I can go get it, okay? So again, like I said, with a claw, everything's forward. I mean, this is the biggest part that I've always taught people is I take that stand up away. Right away, elbow, okay? Make sure you tell your kids not to dip. Okay, that means make sure I'm not dropping. He's gone, his hips go out, other way. He's coming out, and I know I'm gonna lose him, I'll start following him. I always dictate where everything goes in that first 30. So again, here, first thing I do is I go bite it, and once I get this, that's all I need. Even if he moves his neck, and it starts to go the other way, and I start to feel that, everything means go forward from there. I just need a little bite. So again, I'm here, drop, now it's forward. I get heavy first, okay? Again, I said it earlier, and it's probably the hardest thing on bottom to tell a kid. You always attack the waist. And what's the first thing you want to attack when the guy gets you on your throat? The claw. And when he does that, I would probably say 85% of people are going to go attack this, and that's what I want. Once he goes to get it, now wait, his head goes down, okay? I always just move my body, and I'm kind of looking for that as a claw. I'd probably say almost all of them go there, unless I come here. See, now he doesn't care. It's not heavy. So again, when he feels that, he goes and gets it, and I run forward, okay? Is he always gonna go down? No. Okay. I think there's a lot of different combinations you can go from claw. I would recommend claw a little bit more experienced guys that are pretty successful with mat wrestling, because you're going to end up in a crowd ride, whether you like it or not. Okay, I think the claw's got me in some trouble before. It's something that gets a lot of guys in trouble because it's a hang-on ride a little bit, and they don't stay focused on how heavy everything's got to be like a spiral. Everything's always here. The first time my butt drops, like I said, I want to get here and just hang on. Okay? You hear guys come off the mat, go, my arms are burning, this and that. It's because they're leeching on. Okay, so again, weight forward, hand here, claw. Once I feel it, I get everything forward. My knees, same thing as a chop to run up his butt. Okay? Next one's kind of it's the same type of breakdown as the claw a little bit. Instead of claw, I'm gonna half. I actually kind of like it a little better because it makes you stay on the hips. You know, if I'm gonna half a guy here, I'm gonna have to stay behind him. I can't drop here like a claw and I feel comfortable, okay? If I'm here with a claw, I kind of feel sticky, okay? If I'm here, all he's gotta do is move his head that way, rolls it down, he's gone, okay? Claw, he rolls it down, he's still pretty tight, Okay, so again, once I feel this, okay, on the whistle, again with the half, you know, a claw and a half, you better be a pretty good mount wrestler. Okay, it's, you need to grow up kind of knowing legs, kind of knowing crab, and we'll get into that a little bit. It's great to know it, okay, because you're going to be in these positions regardless. You can chop a guy all you want. I might end up, if I have a good chop, I might end up in this position. You know, and he goes, brings his butt under him, and I'm in this position. Same thing, claw, okay, and I didn't even want to be there. So I think, even if you have a great chop, you need to know the positions, know how to use them. But again, with the half, on the whistle, I can move the weight forward first, then go get it, like a spiral, which I would prefer, okay? Instead of them coming on the whistle and drop it. You know, I take all the weight off the hands. So the first thing I would kind of do is put his weight forward like a spiral, bump real quick, and go get it. Okay, now I got my same thing. Anytime you claw or you throw a half, the knees are always in the butt. And if I'm here, I know everything's forward. And this is the biggest problem with every age, is the first thing they do is they get their knee and they want to sit back. Okay, again, now they got to stand up. Okay, it's coming up and under. So again, on the whistle, move the weight forward, bump, half, and from here. Okay, when I get a half, I don't stay to the same side as the half. I move. Okay, I take the weight, see how his hand came off the mat? I go put the weight on the far hand. Here he's good. Okay, he feels relaxed. Once I get the half, I come over here and change directions. Okay, I'm always coming to a bar here. I go get it. And I go get that bar. Okay, so again, whistle, weight forward. I'm gonna bump, half, and once I feel those hands plant, you know, feel his arm, I'm coming over there and getting it. I shift the weight. I go get it. Okay. Again, maybe a little bit higher level of riding. As a high school coach, probably youth, I kind of avoid it. Okay. And I don't mean to avoid it as in your kids don't need to know it or this or that. I think it becomes comfortable and easier. I mean, if I gotta hold this guy down and spiral and run around the mountain bear claw, a bear crawl, it's gonna be hard. You know, I'm gonna have to work my legs, he's gonna have to work his, and it takes effort. Okay, and that's always the basics are everything. Okay, the rides you learn from the get-go. Okay, we kind of went over ankle stuff here. I'm gonna kind of get a little strategic plan here, and it's understanding when to do it and when not to. Okay, it's something like a double overtime deal. And two good competitors or whatever, if it's a 30-second ride, and I gotta ride him out the period. I'm always looking at this guy's ankles. Okay, that determines a lot of my stuff. Even regardless if he's sitting on his ankles, I don't let him ever start comfortable. So him sitting like that, he's starting like that. Get back in down there. He might be comfortable, but I made him do that. It's not where he wanted to be. He wasn't ready for it. Okay. If he sits back on his butt, I sit like this. I would never let me sit like, I make me go like this already. Or do something different. You never let him dictate. Okay, so again, I'm looking at his ankles here. Short time. Me and this guy have been into a hard match the whole time. We both got out. Doesn't seem like I'm gonna ride it. Okay. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go attack his legs. Like a shot. Okay. I'm not gonna come beat him up top. Because a lot of up top stuff, if you're not two good wrestlers, it becomes a lot about willpower. Right? Like I'm getting up, he hold me down, I'm good, you're good. Okay. So when I see this, most of the time it's short time. See 15 seconds on the clock, I can't give up a point. Look, I'm coming to your legs. Okay. You're gonna have to kick out, you're gonna have to figure it out. Okay, so again, for me, I like to start on my high crotch side. Okay, so I shift sides on the whistle. What I mean is I normally start over here, but if I'm gonna go to the legs, I wanna be on my double leg high crotch side with my head on the side I like. So again, the one thing about this that you gotta be a little careful and they need another technique is I cannot, my head position's gotta be right. When I sit back, okay, and I don't like kids sitting back like this because I'm already giving them the jump. And I'm showing them where I'm going. But again, what 95% of these kids are standing up. they don't know how to swish with their feet and get them out and move their butt. So again, I'm coming here and right on the whistle, I'm taking my hand from the belly to the ankle, and I'm gonna come across. Okay, I'm going right to the ankle. So again, I come here and my shoulder drops. Okay, if you go ahead and move your leg straight out, the other way, shoot it straight.
Yep.
Shoot it that way. And I feel that, okay, that's everything. My shoulder will beat it. Okay, it's the same thing you talk to your kids about when you hit a double leg or high crotch. If my shoulder's in their stomach, or here, my head position's right, he ain't getting his legs out from under me. So again, I'm here, I'm already cheating in that, okay? I'm not here, I'm kind of already giving that angle. Okay, I got this ankle, he's not beating me there. If he's really, really good, he feels this coming, okay? I'm sitting back like this, he knows where I'm going. Okay, it's okay if he goes there. He's gonna probably shoot this leg straight so I don't hit it. Okay, now I got the hit. He's gonna have to turn belly down.
Can I run the legs down?
I just think with short time and two good guys, college or not, you know, they call it this. I think you have to have a plan, okay? If you're wrestling 2 state champions or whatever it is, two of this, you're gonna have to do something just to kind of ride them. Okay, you're not gonna go to your chop them and beat them up or whatever. A lot of that becomes about willpower, two good guys. So again, here I am. The waist hand comes here. I want you to pay attention to my shoulder here. This is everything. Quick, don't worry about the ankle. Okay, if I stay high, I have no power here. So as I do this, I want you to watch my shoulder, it drops. See how I beat his hips? Okay, if I don't drop, he's gone. Come here, he's gone. There's no power, okay? His legs versus my arms, not gonna work. So again, my shoulder right into his hip. I drop and I attack it. Okay, if it goes straight, I can go get it, pick it up. Okay, I think that's a big deal. Yeah, sometimes you end up on a leg, okay? If I lose this leg here and it goes straight, at least I'm in a position I know high crotch, you know, it's a comfortable ride. High school kids, they normally turn back in and wrestle. So you're not gonna get hit for stalling. College, a little more experience, you always teach your kids to kick out, okay? And that's from bottom. When I teach top, I normally talk a little bit about bottom too, because there's a lot of strategic stuff for that. So again, I'm here, if it goes straight, I'm on the leg, but the shoulder's everything. I'm gonna pick him up and run it over.